labs in some schools, in some we don't have this. But for example, if these schools are holding PTAs, those meetings of parents, and they have meetings, how does ICT leverage on that? How do you take advantage of having, you educate the common person on how to use a phone? My dear, it is your responsibility to make sure that I don't underutilize this phone that I've spent money expensively to buy. It is your duty to ensure that I get value for my phone. But many people have phones and don't know how to use them. It is your responsibility. So let us see how to use the available structures. We have markets. How do you use the leadership within those markets to ensure that once in a while we see people from ICT? We have the youth who are unemployed. They are good in ICT. How do you make use of that useful resource? They are not as expensive as you may allege. So let's see how this we can be. You can be cheap, but smarter and live up to the duty and expectations of these Ugandans. Because for you, moving from your office to go to campus Zimbabwe, you look per diem, you will even question where the hotels are in Zimbabwe, you ask where the ball. That is not fit for us. But there are those young people, even in the communities where we live, those who can partner with you to really bring ICT closer to the people. Otherwise, we need to think beyond. Yes, Honorable Angula.
Yes.
Although we have reservations, we know you are not in charge of ministers, but also stay up in the way you appoint your ministers. We have, we are not saying that they are incompetent. They are good to serve in some other areas, but they are not fit to be in ICT. So people should, honorable colleagues, the ministers should be specific. You have a minister for ICT who cannot even use the phone. You see, yes, we must tell you, madam, as you get there, you should have the right people in the right places. And the country must know. She must know. And the country must, as you speak, you are not speaking for her alone. A minister of ICT should have leaders, honorable colleagues. We are, if it's progress, we have not started when it comes to ICT. We appreciate the little that has been done. But if you cannot coordinate government processes, coordination of government processes, yes, you have, most of them have been listed here. Idle systems, we have lost money for the past 5 years, but we have a ministry in place that is supposed to coordinate all these. We were with the Ministry of Justice. There is a system they are about to give up. They invested money, but it seemed not to be working out. The creator of the system says he wants money that is even more than what they initially used to buy the system. So this redundancy, the auditor shows you the risk we pose. The auditor says there is a risk that resources may be wasted. Even not. There is a risk that resources are already wasted on uncoordinated or duplicated ICT initiatives, especially where such projects are not clearly aligned or do not fully support the ministries and government-wide strategy.
However, in the process, Office of Auditor General recomputed or sometimes recomputes the calculation of these areas and then sends us an updated report. So when that happens, that is where we capture the discrepancies that you see.
26 million people who have been profiled on the household redistribution system, as well as over 3.5 trillion shillings that can be tracked to the last beneficiary on the PDMIS. That is on the first two modules that I mentioned. Those two modules were started with because they were very critical to knowing who was going to get the money, where is the person, and then how much is the person getting, for purpose of making sure that we can also follow them up for the repayments. Now, that said, I also mentioned that there is an M&E module of the system. This M&E module is going to help us track the specific indicators of PDM. Okay? And that is the one that I mentioned that we have so far rolled out to 2 sub-regions. Reason why? Because we don't have enough resources to be able to cover the whole country.
We're asking the criteria that you use to carry you from Kampala here where you are, and you don't take care of the neighbors first, then you move straight to Acholi. We are asking just the criteria. What was the basis?
Madam Chair, there was no feelings in selecting those sub-regions. We just We know we are, yes, in fact we tossed the coin, but the most important thing is that we are to cover the entire country. It's meant for the entire country, for all districts to be able to monitor the specific indicators of PDM all across the country. So that the rollout is ongoing. We also have the community information interaction module of the PDMIS. This is supposed to help us to interact with the citizens as government. And to date, the development has also been completed, and we have requested for funding to support the rollout of that system as well. This is documented, and we are waiting for
evidence of duplicating roles. You find that, for example, registration of persons, there is an NERA, there is a WBOS. So there is no proper coordination between entities to carry out activities that help our people. Chair, when someone says URSB is owning the process, is owning the system, but they gave us brochure, so does it mean that URSB could not carry out a procurement of this system? We need to understand that. What skill does the ministry have that URSB does not have in terms of procurement? That's number one. Number two, you are dodging the question of expected outputs as asked by Honorable Nanda. What are the outputs? What are the expected outputs from this system? How does it help to enhance or to be efficient as a government entity, as a government ministry, as a ministry? How does it, what value does it add? We need to understand that, Chair.
Okay, Honorable colleagues.
the permanent secretary. The parish development management information system is a system that was intended to actually keep track of the performance or the implementation of PDM.
Okay.
And to date, Madam Chair, we as a Ministry of ICT, working collaboratively with all the other PDM implementing entities, have developed this system using a modular approach. What that means is we looked at all the pillars of PDM and how we are going to automate all of them and how all of them will be speaking to each other. In so doing, we have developed the data collection, or rather household registration and community profile module, as well as the financial inclusion system or module of the PDM. And that, I am sure we can all attest that in our villages, in our parishes, this system is being used to profile those households. It's also being used to ensure that those who have been profiled are able to get the parish revolving fund. So we are able to track those who have received the funds. We are able to track what they are using the funds for, or what they asked for the funds, what they asked for.
Saying the same. How I wish you do put on the table the tangible process you have made so far and how far you have gone and the challenges you have. Because by me, I say we are in the process. Just what the chair has correctly said, initiated in 2021, and up to now you are still in the process. Does it mean that to come at the tail end when it's no longer? Because I understand over a period of time, it's being reviewed to be owned fully by the districts.
Yes.